again. It's me, and today we're going to do the pawn. The pawn is a tricky piece, and it is the only piece that normally moves differently to the way that it takes other pieces. This pawn takes one square forward diagonally and moves just one square forward. Unless, we've got some special position that I'm going to show you later in the video. And there's also some really special rules about pawns, but I'm going to teach you them in later videos. Okay, so how many spaces could this pawn move to? 3! It could move forward, it could take this pawn, or it could take this knight. Okay. Now I am going to teach you more things. Okay. So this pawn, just so you know, when you're setting up the board, the pawns start on this rank 2 for white and rank 7 for black. And when they're making their first move, they can go forward 2 squares. Like that. Wow. Looks like I just cheated, doesn't it? But nope, I didn't. It can do that. Well, actually, at first in chess, you couldn't do that. But then people who changed the rules of chess decided that it would be much more fun and much more exciting if you could go forward too. So this pawn can go forward too, because it's this pawn's first move. A lot of beginners confuse the pawn's first move with white's first move. It's obviously not white's first move, because white would have all the pieces on the board if it was his first move, and these pieces wouldn't be there, and there, and there. Yeah, it's the pawn's first, because the pawn started here, so this pawn hasn't moved yet. The pawn's first move can go forward too. Again, some beginners think that the pawn can only go forward too when it's your first move. So only one pawn can go forward too, because you can only move one pawn on the first turn. And if you move a pawn one square on the first turn, or don't move a pawn, then they think that you can never move a pawn 2 squares in that game. Well, they're wrong, because it's the pawn's first move. This pawn right here. But obviously, it can still go forward 1 if it wanted. And it can still take this queen. But what it cannot do is go forward 2 and take at the same time. This pawn cannot take the knight by going forward 2 and taking diagonally. That's what it cannot do. Okay. So, and I will now show you one last position. Okay. Some people don't think of this, but because the pawn moves differently than it takes, the pawn's the only piece in chess that can get blocked. So it doesn't have any moves right now, because there's nothing to take on the diagonals, and this enemy pawn is blocking it from going forward. So, the only way to win this game would, for white, be to go up here with the king and then take this pawn And then white would be winning for reasons that you don't know yet. Okay. Goodbye. Hope you had fun learning about the pawn. And next, we will learn about the knight, as it is the last piece left. And if it's the last piece, then I'm sure you can guess that it is very tricky to move. Bye.